Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are we?
I'm Dr. Marcus.
And I'm Charlie, and this is the Mood Booster podcast.
In this episode, we're talking about why mixing friendship groups can feel hard, reflecting on blending friendship groups.
It's a very, very festive time, and some friendship groups might be being mixed. So we're really diving into why this might feel a bit difficult or sometimes, why we might have a bit of anxiety if mixing friendship groups can actually be quite difficult, and what that looks like as well.
Yeah, we also talk about our recent trip where there were 15 of us and we all sort of did exactly that. We were blending groups. So we unpack the theory of why that can feel difficult for some people, and how we might overcome that, and ways in which we can take small steps to socialize and bring people together who might not know each other.
And live a far more authentic life as well.
Yeah, a lot about really authenticity in this one, right?
100%, some really cool info in it.
Yeah.
And as Marcus said, you'll learn a lot about how to mix those friendship groups.
Yeah. Also, 8th of December, if you're listening on day of release. Hope your Christmas is going well.
100%.
Still in the Christmas hats if you're watching on YouTube. So,
there we go.
Yeah, Feliz Navidad, as always.
Yeah. Overall, it's a lovely episode. We had a lot of fun recording it as usual and learnt a lot as well.
We did indeed.
Of course. Hopefully, you will learn a lot too.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
In this podcast, we share evidence-based tools, tips, and advice to help you boost your mood, improve your well-being, and find joy in your everyday.
We talk about life's highs, lows, and everything in between, with real stories and reflections from our own journeys as well.
With pillars rooted in introspection, connection, and presence, this is the home of well-being and joy.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
do it.
Hello, everyone.
Buongiorno.
Welcome back to the Mood Booster podcast.
Welcome in.
Welcome. It's great to have you here.
Very, very lovely to have you here on this fine morning or
Episode
evening, whenever you're listening.
38.
38.
Welcome back. It's brilliant.
How are we doing?
We're doing all right, actually.
8th of December.
Hebus Sleebus currently this morning.
Yeah.
A little bit sleepy on this Christmas morning.
We are a little bit sleepy on this Christmas morning. Just so you know, we're recording this on a what is it, Tuesday morning actually?
Yeah, not usually our Wednesdays. No. This is a Tuesday morning recording.
Yeah.
But it's a Christmas episode. You'll see that we're wearing Santa hats. We actually have a little Christmas foot on our table. I don't know how to describe it. So hop over to YouTube and have a look.
A little Christmas booty.
A Christmas foot. It's like a boot.
Yeah. Santa's boot.
It's Santa. That's it, isn't it?
Santa's boot, and it's got toys in it.
In the way of decorations, we have one decoration in this entire setup, bar our hats, and it's the tiniest Santa candle, and it's just a foot.
He is, yeah, it's great little candle that is.
The least merry thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
No, it's lovely.
It's pretty good, actually.
It's lovely. Feliz Navidad, everyone. Feliz Navidad.
Well, what are we talking about today, Marcus?
What are we talking about?
We're discussing.
We're talking about why mixing friendship groups feels so hard, reflecting on blending friendship groups.
Blending friendship groups.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Christmas is the time of year where we do lots of socialising. Well, a lot of people do lots of socialising. Lots of things happening, people seeing one another. And in line with that, we can bring together our social groups. And it can be a time of that happening. And for some people, which we'll get into today, that can be nerve-wracking, anxiety-inducing, and just kind of like, no, I don't want to do that.
100%.
Yeah.
We also, I know we'll get into this more with our weeks when we cover that in that fun part, but we also, this last weekend, we were mixing some different friendship groups in these cabins as well.
That, yeah.
It was a lovely weekend, but it just got me thinking about, I don't know if I've been the best, particularly at mixing friendship groups previously. So it's an interesting dynamic that I want to explore more, because often some people don't mix their friendship groups on purpose in maybe a fear of something. So very keen to explore why that is.
Yeah, fear of being outed.
Yeah. You're being truly found for who you are.
Yeah, who you are. We've spoken about it several times in the past about that sort of, like you just said, that something you've not felt. Did you say you've not felt comfortable with, or
just never really wanted to do it particularly?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out my way to try and mix friendship groups. If they were being mixed on some occasion, I'd be like, that's absolutely fine, but I wouldn't love it, I think. And I'm quite interested to sort of see why.
Yeah.
Whereas I know some people are really keen to mix their friendship groups. Like, I've got this great friend who you should meet, and all their groups are just one. It looks quite nice as well. So
when I was a teenager, I certainly had that. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Let's not get too hasty. Let's not get carried away here. We need to fill the whole hour. Let's not get carried away.
Let's not get carried away.
Let's not get carried away. How funny.
How funny. Charlie, talk to me. How was your week since we last spoke to the listeners?
To the guys over here.
The mood boosters.
How was my week? My week has been alright, actually. It's been a little bit of a quieter week. Settling into December, into the December cooler months. It's been lovely. This past weekend, we, as I just mentioned there, went away with a large group of people, like 13, 14 of us was there?
15.
15. I was almost there.
Yeah, almost.
That's 1 or 2 left.
Yeah, 1 or 2 left.
God, I was close.
Who are you missing?
Regardless. Oh, God, that's awkward. We went away to these cabins in the Cotswolds and had a couple nights away, a couple of drinks here and there. Couple of drink and one. I had a half shandy lager top.
Nice.
I can't speak today. Half Shargalandy.
Shargalandy.
Half lager shandy.
Did you have one of those snake bites that were going around?
I did not. Did you?
God forbid. No, thank you very much.
Disgusting. It was a very, very heavy weekend, but it was up in the Cotswolds. We had some cabins which we rented out. Very, very nice. Went on a couple of walks. And yeah, had a couple of drinks, as we said. Went into Cirencester, beautiful town. It's your hometown, isn't it?
I grew up there. Yeah.
So pretty.
Yes.
So pretty. I was saying to Marcus that if anyone's not from England, that's exactly what they'd want to see from England. Like the stone, the old Victorian streets, the Roman streets. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. I find when I meet people at run clubs, if someone's from England, typically people know of the Cotswolds, but more often, whenever I meet someone who's not from England at run clubs, because we often get people from all over at the run club, they're always like, "Oh my God, you're from the Cotswolds!" And more often than not, people who aren't from England originally will know are more likely to know when I say where I'm from than people who are from England.
I don't know the Cotswolds at all,
which fits into that.
Yeah, because it's so pretty. It's exactly what you're wanting if you're going to go to England.
Yeah, it's lovely.
If you're not from England, go to the Cotswolds.
Go to the Cotswolds.
There you go.
Come to Europe.
Come to the streets of Europe. Oh my God, I love Europe.
I love Europe so
much. I love
much.
Europe streets. The streets of Europe.
Here's my morning coffee. Guys, if you've not watched it, just type into TikTok morning coffee American. It'll come up. It's got like 17 million views. There's this guy that's done this what Americans sound like in their morning coffee routine, and it's a hilarious video.
A couple pumps of hazelnut squeeze or something.
And then proceeds to do like 16 pumps.
Yeah.
And then he goes through the whole process, and at the very end, after putting all of these ingredients in, at the very end puts like a milliliter of coffee in.
A milligram of coffee. It's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Brilliant video.
Yeah.
Alas.
Yeah, so that trip actually came around. We've been doing that friendship group trip for about 4-5 years. Just came around one year randomly. There was a smaller group of us, and we were like, let's just go somewhere we have a free weekend. Just on Airbnb, on the map, not sponsored, on the map, we're just looking around the whole country, and this was the place that came up, and I was like, oh well, I kind of did grow up there, so I'm not too bothered about going there, but yeah, we can go if we want. And then it was the last place that we could find, so yeah, we went, and then every year we've just kept going back. There were 6 of us back then, and now 15.
It started with 6.
Pretty epic. Yeah.
Couple of friendship groups there mixed, weren't there?
Yeah, there were a couple mixed.
Before
sure. Yeah, no. So yeah, it was a lovely weekend. Yeah,
it was really, really nice, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We'd got back from Spain the previous week, which we were speaking about in our previous episode on volunteering, elite episode. And yeah, last week was a bit more chill, wasn't it? Bit of work here and there, prepping for Christmas, and then it was just the cabins, which was super nice.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, we had a nice time. Last week's episode, if you hadn't listened, also great one. I wanted to quickly talk about that one.
Such a good episode. We were literally saying after listening to it, because we always try and listen to our episodes before they go out, how funny it was. Not even trying to like sell it here, genuinely not. I was on the train to work, and I was just genuinely laughing out loud. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Genuinely. The intro, I said that for some reason, but I was genuinely laughing out loud.
Yeah. That was the volunteering one, and then we also had James, which was sublime.
We've been on a roll recently.
We have. Just want to
stop us.
Take a moment to speak about that one. I truly, both of them back to back, phenomenal episodes, and just having James on was really cool. Registered dietitian who's doing a lot of important stuff at the moment, also growing exponentially on his socials. He's absolutely
great,
as he should be, challenging all of these people talking nonsense online, which is good. And I was telling someone at Run Club yesterday, I was like, he's not, because she was like, I just struggle because I don't know, like someone's saying to do this and then the other person's saying to do this, and I'm like, well, that's what we appreciate about James, is he's not really telling you what to do. He's taking a step back and empowering people to know how to find information and the right information.
Yeah.
It's the whole, and he said it on the episode, if you give someone a fish, they'll eat for a day. If you teach someone how to fish, they'll eat forever or whatever.
That old
and it's
phrase.
like, I'm here telling you that this information might not be correct, but this is why it's incorrect, so then you know in the future how to spot misinformation. Yeah, really, really cool, and just was really grateful to have him on, and maybe some more things to come on that
Some
front.
things to come. It was such a cool episode in general. He
Really
also very, very nicely said in a video yesterday, I think it was, that
Yeah.
Dr. Marcus and I are two men who deserve to have podcast equipment, which I think is a huge thing, because a lot of people don't. So
I'll take that from him.
I'll take that. Huh? What did you say? What did he say?
All right, now. I will take the compliment from James. Thank you, James. He's a good-looking chap. What are you talking about?
He's a very good looking chap. No, I completely agree. 100%. It's funny stuff.
Yeah, indeed. So, yeah, if you're asking me, my weekend was great as well. Thank you very much.
There we go. I don't know how it was, actually. Did anyone hear me ask?
If you're watching on YouTube, before we talk about the friendship groups, you'll see, well, it's gone down now, but I fell over and hit the ground. We'll put it
actually what happened?
We'll maybe put it in the carousel. I went flying, and yeah, we'll put the photo in the carousel. Absolutely, just literally, our friend India. I was on the floor. I went flying from the chair. We play this game. Everyone knows the game, Floor is Lava, but at the big age of 25 to 32.
Way to recount your age there.
I'm not 32. The main instigator of the game is 32.
Yeah, to be fair, he is.
Jay loves that game. Yeah, we play the Floor is Lava at like 1 a.m. and just it gets a bit silly. And anyway, I was trying to get from the one chair to another, and the chair just slid underneath me. I went flying, like literally flying through the air. You'll see on the photo on the carousel. And I was just on the floor. I don't fully remember this, just probably anyway. And India apparently was like, before anything, was like, I've got it on photo. And Ross was like, do you want to check he's all right?
Black eye and all. If you look at Marcus now in the YouTube, he actually has a black eye.
To be fair, it's kind of gone now, but it's a little bit there.
It was worse on the day.
Yeah.
It got worse towards the afternoon of the Sunday.
Yeah, we were just walking around town and everyone kept being like, oh, it's getting worse. I was like, I can't see it. What are we talking about?
Marcus loved it. It gave him this whole vibe of like this bad guy who's been in a fight. He absolutely loved it. So if you hear him
I'm not you. That's not a bit of me.
It was Marcus. He was like, guys, is my black eye getting worse? He kept on asking everyone.
Yeah, you can see
wanting the attention to people to know that he actually, couldn't get into a fight.
Yeah.
That was Marcus.
You can imagine that from me, my energy. Yeah.
Dr. Marcus. Scrapping.
Anyway, yeah, it was a sublime weekend. Lovely, lovely weekend. And great mixing of friends, I would say.
100%.
What do you think?
Well, because you said it started with 6 people, didn't it?
Yeah, so for context, it started with, like we say, the 6 people. Most of them were from university, plus one, who was a friend of a friend, Bryony. Nor's friend.
She's not invited back.
No, she's just, I guess, busy or something. I don't
That's
really know.
awkward.
And then the year after, a couple more people came, and then now it's people, just a whole smorgasbord of, because like we had someone take a photo of us in the park, and I kind of struggled to answer the question just because
how do you all know each other?
My brain's so literal.
Mark's like,
I kind of malfunctioned for a
got
second.
A black eye.
I don't know, but look at my black eye. But because the core of us, yes, we're from university, but now there's so many out of that 15, more than 5 and I think are not from I don't know, that university group. So it was kind of like, well, I don't know, it's just a mixture of all different people. Like Maddie, who came, was meeting people for the first time there the whole time. The majority of the people was meeting people. You knew everyone, but again,
I'm fairly new to that group still.
Yeah.
Molly's obviously not from university either. So.
No, and Neno was meeting people for the first time.
Yeah, you're right.
Christina, she's very much there from the beginning. She's part of university, but also now lives in another country, so sees people far less often. And so, yeah, it's just a real lovely mix of people. But got us thinking about this situation. And yeah, in the past, well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
What's your, you've already sort of hinted on it, but what's your vibe with mixing groups?
Well, I think part of the theory as we were prepping for this, one of the points of which I kind of want you to go on to as well, whilst I explain it, really interested me, in terms of sort of seeing yourself as slightly different versions of who you are with different groups. So when those groups collide a bit, that can be a bit odd. And I think a tiny part of that resonated quite a lot with me. I'd say I've never been the house, or, you know, when I was growing up, or any sort of social setting, to be the central house where everyone comes to, or the central, you know, person to mix all the friendship groups, if that makes sense. Like growing up, when I was going to school, we'd always go to my friend Tom's house. That was the house that everyone would convene at in that friendship group itself. At university, we were a little bit of that house as well, to be fair, but on the grander scale of things, I've never particularly like wanted to mix loads of different groups, whether it be university and home, or, you know, now in university, for instance. I like each of the groups in their own respects, because the energy or the vibe that comes with said groups, when those groups are with each other, often works quite well. But then there's the unknown of bringing different friendships, for instance, into that group, or bringing different energies or dynamics as well, which I'm not sure if it'll work. I know that's not on me to sort of have that work, but I don't know, even sort of thinking about it now, I think there's sort of a lack of control there, I suppose, to know that that group will work. And for instance, say, I don't know, it's difficult. Say my home friends mixed with my uni friends, for instance, and they didn't really get on. They probably would, which is absolutely fine. But say one of them didn't get on with each other, I'd probably take a little bit of accountability there to be like, well, I'm the glue technically here. If these people aren't seeing eye to eye, why is that?
Yeah.
Both people I like in their own respects, whereas there's that lack of synergy there. So, and that's on me to have introduced them. So that's quite a, if I'm looking at it, quite an intimidating sort of idea. But I suppose that probably comes from a bit of a control thing as well in a social setting.
Do you think it's fully more about them not getting on as opposed to like yourself in that situation?
Probably not. Or probably is more about a reflection of my own self being introspective. Yeah, I suppose it, looking at it, probably dials back to, on some level, it's not huge, but on some level, probably a small fear of like, of say those friends didn't get on. What does that say about my own character? About not having the ability to get these people to get on, or have I chosen X friend badly, or whatever it is, for instance. What would the other friend think of me because of that friend? Your friends are a reflection of you. Your social circle is, you know, you are your social circle. People often say your closest 5 people. And if people from different friendship groups aren't getting on, what does that say about you?
Yeah,
I suppose. This is obviously blown up into, or like really sort of zooming in. Like the other conscious side of my brain is like, that's not on you at all. If they don't get on, they're their own people. They have their own schemes and their own beliefs.
Yeah.
But on some level, I'm choosing still to surround myself or associate myself with said person. So from introducing, there's a level of responsibility that I should have there, I think.
There is, but also on that front of people getting on or not getting on, if everything else is not considered and it's just about them getting on or not getting on, it's kind of, people of all walks of life do and don't get on. Yeah. And that's kind of not necessarily, no one else can control that other than those two people in that given interaction, or in this, in our case, those 16, 15 people in that given interaction. So on that front, it's kind of like, I can bring these two people together. If they decide they want to be friends or not, that's up to them. And also, realistically, yes, it would be nice if they got on, but there's no major loss for me in that situation.
I suppose it's the relinquishment of the control, or the need to have them get on. Yeah, this isn't something anymore. But when I was younger, I think when I was still trying to figure out a bit about who I was, where I fit into certain social groups, I would maybe put on quite an extreme version of different parts of myself to certain groups, to really try and ensure that I fit in there, or really try and ensure that maybe I was the funny one, or I was the calm and steady one, for instance. And so when those versions of myself would collide with the two friendship groups, that would, in my mind, this is when I was way back younger, would be quite difficult to understand how I would then represent myself, which is interesting.
That's more where I think the fear comes from, right?
I mean, I
in
think
general
both.
for people.
I can't speak on behalf of others. For myself, I know that was, when I was younger, that was definitely something that I would, I think, fear. The reason that I sort of didn't really want to, merge friendship groups, because I was thinking, well, if these guys, I'm the funny one, I'm the loud one, for instance, but then these guys, I'm the calm and, relatable one, whatever it is.
Respectful one.
And
The calm, respectful one.
Not that I'm disrespectful, but the calm and respectful one. And then these two meet, and I'm not either of these two people.
Yep.
What will these two friendship groups think of me?
Yeah.
But that's the complete highlight into my own self.
Well, you've just hit the nail on the head there, really.
Yeah.
And there is theory that talks about this, but I also, for me, like colloquially speaking, informally speaking, which isn't necessarily how I truly feel, because obviously working with more compassion and understanding, but just leaning into this for a second, bit of a red flag when people don't like mixing their groups.
You think?
100%.
Wow.
What does that tell you? It tells you that people they have something to hide, or they are presenting, exactly like you said, different versions of themselves. And when someone doesn't want to bring groups together, it's not fully, indicative of, but it can be a sign that there are, someone is very much controlling and curating different lives and different presentations of themselves for different people. And therefore the idea of bringing people together is just not even possible, because that is just exposing one's own identity and completely sort of exposing the impressions that people have of you to one another, because there's no physical way in that room where there's that group A here and group B here, and I'm person A here and person B here. How on earth that's not possible?
100%.
Because these people know me for this and these people know me for this. And then if you step into that one step further, I think it's like okay, well, why is that person being two different people to different groups? And then why are those two different people incompatible in the third space where everyone's together? You have to kind of ask, like, okay, well, if that's happening, then are they truly themselves around this group here or this group here, or neither?
I was just about to say that.
Then this is why I'm leaning into it, and I will come back out with more compassion. But then it's like, well, can one trust them if they can't even trust themselves to, or have the security in themselves to just be themselves around all of these groups? What's going on here, and are they someone that you could properly trust? Now, don't get me wrong, obviously there's lots more involved in that, and that's why it's it's a bit of a well, not an antagonist, but like an antagonist hot take of like, don't trust, red flag, someone that can't mix groups. Like, there's a lot more nuance to it, and sensitivity to it. But
wouldn't sort of brush that paint stroke.
For every...
Is that even a phrase? Brush that paint stroke?
Let's go with it. Why not?
Who knows? Yeah, obviously there are far more nuances. But I think you're also quite correct there in sort of saying that there is a level of inauthenticity, whatever the word is there, I suppose.
Exactly, that's the word.
Which is the thing to highlight. Now, where that stems from, that's up to the individual on why they're doing it. You could probably brush that paint stroke to be like, I don't know, maybe there's an inadequacy or lack of self-worth, for instance, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Certain things that lead these different versions of you to be highlighted.
But you see it in certain relationships. I'm trying to be careful what I say, because I don't want to... but you do see it in certain sort of relationships as well, where, partners never see friends or vice versa.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm saying I'm trying to be careful is because that it also lends to many other things, but things like intimate partner violence and all those things,
100%.
where like isolation and all of those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But when that's not present, and IPV or intimate partner violence isn't present, and the coercive isolation and all those things aren't happening, there are also relationships where partners don't necessarily meet one another's friends, or not even families, for example.
Yes.
Some people are like, I don't necessarily want my friends to meet my family or whatever. I'm proud to take people to my mum's house or whatever. I didn't always, and I now know that when I was a teenager and I was like figuring out who I was and all those things.
That's what I'm referencing.
Yeah.
I think that's why I was sort of with the air of hesitancy when you're obviously saying these things, saying it's a red flag. Like any 15-year-old's trying to figure out who they are. if that means they're a red flag, I don't quite agree. Like 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds, they're still trying to figure out their place in the world, and if to fit in a certain group, like how many, and it's great if you can, but how many truly authentic 15-year-olds are walking around sort of braving their hearts out to the world? Like, it's great to sort of see that, but it's also perfectly normal, I think, in a world where you're trying to fit in things like school and dynamics of there as well, which is quite difficult to navigate when you're younger.
Yeah.
To find friendship groups, you put on a slight version to sort of attract friends who you want to have.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good thing to try and always do, especially as you get older, as you were saying there. I think it's a great point, especially in relationships. If you see, for instance, very reductionist, but a guy, you know, is with his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, and it's like really lovey-dovey, but then goes out with the boys and is all like, you know, laddie, that's a complete difference, and he wouldn't do that in front of his partner.
Yeah.
I think that's the inauthenticity which one should really look out for. There's a good rule out. Good rule. My mum always used to say, if you wouldn't say something in front of your nana, don't say it at all. Like, basically, as a benchmark is...
Yes, Tracy.
it's basically a benchmark is just be your authentic self and who you'd want to be around people like your nana or whoever. Be that person in general, and don't make sure you don't put that in front of anyone else as well, because then you're not living truly to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that then carries itself into friendships, because, as you said, the more authentic you are, the less of these versions that you have.
It's also, yeah, I think that's why I'm speaking from lived experience. Like, when I was a teenager and I was figuring that out, I could see that happening. And sometimes, not always, and I feel like I've always been someone who's been more comfortable to have, like, I was the house that people would always come to, and but I still got sometimes feelings of that, or like sometimes at a birthday party being like, oh well, this group here from this class and this group here from this other social setting was slightly nerve-wracking, but I didn't stop me doing it. But I can relate to that, because I think it, like, and when I think about it was from that sort of sense of, oh well, I'm slightly more of the comedian here, or I'm slightly more of this person here, so but that very quickly sort of just was ironed out, and over time now I'm sort of I'm proud to bring people together, and when to the point of if they're not getting on, I just think like, okay, well that's you and your problem. Like, I can try and resolve, because it's nice to see people getting on, and I can be helpful, and obviously I want everyone to get on, but ultimately if that doesn't happen, then that's not necessarily a me problem, but that's not how everyone operates, and there is theory behind why this is difficult for people, including the self-presentation theory.
Is that the different versions of ourselves?
Exactly. So Goffman in the 50s, so very old, well, not very old theory relative to psychology, but still an older theory.
You were born in there, weren't you?
I was born in the 50s. Yeah. You were born in the 2015, right?
6 years ago.
So
I'm 6 currently.
Yeah. Tienes 6 años.
Sí.
Sí.
Tengo 6 años.
Claro.
Sí. Claro. Vale. Ja.
Lily, if you're listening, my Spanish teacher. Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hola. We need to do weekly updates on our Spanish lessons.
We do. We should put a Spanish segment in here, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we'll leave it at the end, because we're in the middle of the conversation.
Sorry, theory.
We'll come back to it, yeah?
Spanish.
That was fully me.
That conversation.
So impression management is another version or another word for self-presentation theory. Or so the self-presentation theory is about our impression management. And we present, the theory is that we do present slightly different selves around different groups. So the self-presentation theory is it uses a theatrical metaphor, and it says that we are the actor at the front of the stage, and we are acting at all times for an audience. And that sounds kind of like egotistical, and like it's always a performance, but it's not necessarily. It's just us being the actor in the world, and everyone around us is our audience, because we're the only person and the only reality that we know. And then the things that we do kind of backstage or off the stage are authentic, sort of recalibrating, getting your energy back, all of those sorts of things. But so according to that theory and us being on the stage, we do present slightly differently to different groups, and our different selves to different groups, based on what that group is, who they are, how we want to fit in with them, our view of ourselves in the context of those people. Like, for example, a very basic and clear example that would be helpful for everyone to illustrate is in work. You are more professional in a working context, right? You're well, Most of us are more professional in a
Yeah.
working context, so we wouldn't necessarily make jokes that we'd make with our friends, or be, I don't know, like to your point earlier, the comedian or the insensitive one or whatever, because we want to be professional. We also need to respect working boundaries and all those things.
100%.
That's a very clear-cut example, but a helpful one. But so why, according to the theory, we can find mixing groups anxiety-inducing, or we can find it difficult, is because, you can't necessarily sort of always combine those two groups. And when you do, it can feel exposing to your identity, because your true identity is here, but internally, but externally on that stage, you've always been putting on slightly different versions of that. So it feels like, okay, well, my true one, the backstage one, for example, is now going to be called into question or being exposed, because I'm on all of these different stages all at once. And these multiple stages have become one stage, and my different audiences have become one collective audience, and therefore my true identity is sort of having to curate. And if we're presenting our different selves to such extremes, that can feel extremely anxiety inducing. There's, I guess I see it as a spectrum. Like if you're really really different for different people, you're going to be extremely anxious, and that's not going to be possible.
Of course.
But even people who, like myself, I'm still confident around, bringing people together. I am still slightly different to one friend to the other friend, and that's a completely normal thing. Not only according to the theory, but just lived experience.
Well, you have your own in-jokes as well, don't you? You have your own
exactly
interpersonal connections, and I think that's completely normal. Like, it's not. Sometimes it's not. It's a version of yourself. It's just the way you are around someone else. Like, I think it would be a great ideal to try and strive for, is to be the same person with whoever comes by, because then that's the true sort of selfless person. You are just you in any setting, and nothing can move you. But that's obviously quite a stoic thing, which is up in the air. Of course you're going to change slightly around certain people, whether it's work or even your partner as well. Like, I know you said there, if I merge two friends, for instance, and they don't get on, that's not on me. I do feel like that's a little bit reductionist, if I'm being honest, because, and this is a bit more of an extreme example, but let's say it's your partner, and then you're introducing them to your friend. You're going to want them to get on. That's fine and normal. Like, these are two people you care about, and if they don't get on, just being like, oh, it's fine if you don't get on, that's not my problem. It's quite reductionist, and it's a bit blasé. Like, it's completely fine to want people you care about to get on.
Of course.
And to like each other. And if they didn't, saying just like, that's on you guys, and that's not on me, is also a bit like, best of luck to you, I'm gonna still go around and josh around the park, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think ultimately human beings do get on,
of course.
So I feel like if you're truly surrounding yourself and you're authentic to yourself, your friends should represent your authentic self.
Exactly.
And the people, your partner, your friends, your family should represent your authentic self. So typically these people should get on, and when they don't, again, those sorts of things, I'm like, is there something else going on there? Like, is there a reason?
Rarely do friends not actually get on.
Is there a reason, like, your friends don't necessarily like your partner, or vice versa? Is that because you're extremely vastly different between the people who I see in my life, who are very sort of, confident in themselves and very sort of, I guess authentic in their presentation? Their friends and their partner are the same. Like, they're all just one group together.
Exactly.
That's a one and done rule. That's not the case for everyone, but
of course,
But it does link to the other theory, which is the homophily principle, which is we tend to connect with people whose values with which we share. So as individuals, we want to be with like-minded people, the same as us, people who share our values, our interests, and have the same sort of communication style and all of those sorts of things. So linking with that, when you're being your authentic self, it allows you to connect with those people who are more akin to your authentic self, which then helps you when it comes to blending those groups, because when you're truly mixing with people who share your values, whether that's group A here or group B here, well, if we all share the same values,
100%.
I'm not some sort of sexist kind of person over here, and then some really sensitive person over here, or whatever. if you're true to your values and say, you know, that's not okay and whatever, and also it's not okay here, just as one basic example, then there shouldn't really be an issue with those groups coming together.
100%.
And that's another theory that sort of aids this sort of the blending of the groups, or aids sort of illustrating how we might blend groups.
Basically says that you're proud to have these people in your life because you're living you. And it states, I mean, it probably leads into a bit more of the law of attraction, is that you are what you attract. And that if you're truly living your authentic life, then you attract what's best for you.
Yeah.
The best people with the best values. And then there would be no concern there about whether their values don't merge at all as well.
Yeah.
Because from this principle, it says that if all their values merge,
well, exactly,
there should be no problem there in terms of...
Yeah, but according to the principle, it still is, regardless of how authentic you are with yourself and then your different groups, it still is anxiety inducing for any person, because you ultimately, the end goal is for all of those people, like you say, to get on and share the same values and all of that, but we're all human beings with individual identities, and we could all share the same, I don't know, for example, political affiliation or religious identity, whatever. But that just means that. It doesn't mean anything else about our identity. We all have other values outside of that. So there will always be differences. And so even though we want to curate and bring people together who share values according to this principle, there will always be some differences. And that's where the anxiety can also come from.
Well, this actually is a bit of a tangent, but it's going on from that, is that it's really interesting. More than ever now in the West, people are not speaking to family, are not speaking to friends because of things like political differences, or because of those sorts of differences in certain values which weren't ever seen before. Like, and albeit I think I did see it on social media, this is a rising thing that people are witnessing, is that people aren't speaking to their parents or to their uncles or whatever it is, their sisters and brothers, because of the widespread difference in our political values. However, it's important to note, this is also because of how widely different our political values can now be. Like, I think it referenced in Norway, for instance, your political fallouts might be over fishing quotas, whereas in the US it might be over something far more separating or far more extreme. Far more divided. So because of these certain political values or differences, people, you might not speak to these sorts of different groups or blend them because you don't align with those values as well. So going back to the principle, if we do search for the people, or we align people with our own values, and certain groups don't align or differ, then you would find that difficulty in merging them or wanting to merge them.
Yeah, definitely.
But then you, I guess, need to ask yourself, do you want to be with that friendship group if you don't merge with their values anymore either?
That's another thing. It's kind of like, that's why I come back to the red flag situation. It's kind of like, if you maintain these friendships, all these different friendships, because everyone grows and everyone sort of evolves.
Yeah.
If you, and we're all allowed to do that and have space to do that at all times. So, but if you've evolved over here, and you're having these values that you believe in, whatever they are, however they pose in society, and then you're finding friends that align with those values, but friends over here from times past are completely opposite to that and whatever, how does that then work if you want to bring those together?
Well, then I think we need to ask the bigger question of whether bringing them together is even the best thing,
or
but
wanted.
I think on the whole scale, it's important to obviously surround ourselves with people we agree with and people whose values are inspiring to us and who we want to inspire as well. However, it also, I think, is important to know that we shouldn't just search for that echo chamber of people who believe in the same things, because whilst we believe our values are correct, the other people will as well. The other people with their own values, whether whoever's more hateful will believe that their values are better.
Yeah.
And then if we just search and stick to our sort of cliques or our echo chambers, then we won't have that wider perspectives as well. So whilst I think it's important to have a larger group of friends as well, merging them is also a different story as well.
Yeah, I feel like if there's presentations or beliefs from people that are kind of a way that would make you fear bringing them into a social group, then it's kind of like, why am I? if it's that extreme, then surely one must question like what's going on here.
Extremes are no, of course. It's like bringing in friends with Adolf Hitler. It's bringing him into a friendship group because of his extreme values. Obviously there is a certain line to draw it out. What I'm saying is always, having some slightly different values in different groups, different diversity, different backgrounds can often be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
I suppose it depends what values they have. and if they are start to get hateful and harmful, then that starts to probably be like, do you even want to be associating yourself with that person anymore?
Yeah, and a note we've spoken that we haven't really gone into, but at the moment we're talking, and when we say values, we're talking around political ideologies and things, I think. But there are many other differences that people have, like communication styles, humor, forms of humor,
100%.
whether like sarcasm is yes. I have such a stupid sense of humor, and that is something that I do. Like when I mix groups, not when I mix groups, but more probably when I go into someone else's group, I find myself very much like, I think my sense of humor is just like doesn't make any sense, which is why it's funny to me, but to other people it's just kind of like, what is he talking about? So that is something that is very clear. It's like people have different sense of humors, and
they do, definitely.
That's not something I know, that's just a normal thing of getting to know someone or getting to know people, is you have to warm up to people, and you take time to do 100%. That, don't you? So you're not just going to go in and be fully just this kind of way. No. But that's something where I feel like I take a minute to be fully authentic with, is kind of my humor.
Well, different humors often different, quite funny as well. I'd say like different groups have different humorous styles. Like one can be very dry, ripping into someone else, and that's reciprocating, that's funny there. But one can just be more or less of that and something else, and that's also okay as well. Yeah. And it's whether mixing that is okay, which I think it is, but those humours might not mix very well. No. Like I've seen my humour in some groups, which are far more sensitive humours, doesn't quite work, and the jokes will just not land. No. Even though I'm being my true self with my humour, it just won't land at all. I'm like, oof, this is awkward now. I think it even happened over the weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't remember an example really, but there have definitely been times. I remember when we were playing card games.
What happened?
With Nathan in India. Do you remember we were playing cards on Bonfire Night, and I called Nathan a thick chump? It just, the whole group's like, oh, what the hell are you being so mean? I was like, wait, what? I said thick chump, and to me that's just like a funny offhand comment. And like I remember, didn't land well.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Tough crowd.
So it's that mixing of like humour is when it can get a bit...
Yeah.
It just doesn't quite like a line.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think it's nice to get to a space of like, I don't want to sound tone deaf at all in this and be like, oh, well, I'm fine with bringing people together. I'm proud, because it is something that I appreciate. People... And you're a red flag if you don't like it. Like, that's not at all necessarily what I'm saying. I feel like there's extremes where there are... I think I do stand by my point, and this is an opinion that I have. I try not to, cast personal opinions, because we're trying to be open-minded here. Yeah. But I do think if someone can never blend their groups, partners, family, friends, and there's never a blend there, and they are isolated, I feel like that's something to observe 100%. And think about. But in general... it's normal for this to be nerve-wracking, and there are ways that we can sort of work through it. I think for me, I would probably think about finding common ground between the people I'm bringing together, and 100%. Being like, for example, when I introduce people, I'm like, oh, you'll like this about this person, they do this. So immediately you're helping them find something to talk about in that situation, so they're not having to just be there like, oh, what do you do for work, sort 100%. Of thing. Just immediately sort of removing any of that and just giving them something to talk about.
Well, a great example of this was obviously one of my school friends, Sol, for instance, someone I grew up with. I had the funny persona, or whatever you want to call it there. A very good common ground that we had, that when I introduced you to Sol, was that we had the Lake District filming weekend. I think that was the first time that you met him.
Yes.
We had the Lake District filming weekend.
That was the first time I met him.
It was, I think it was, yeah. We actually, if you don't know, just released a incredible short form video. It's on YouTube. It's all about our pillars of the mood booster. It's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It was filmed by our very, very good friend Sam Ashton, and it was at Sol's house up in the Lake District. Very, very beautiful. It's an incredible video. And speaking on that, that was the first time I believe you met him. Mm-hmm. Great bit of common ground there to introduce you to him, mixing friendship groups. Since then, obviously you're at the Halloween party as well. Yeah. You and Sol are now best friends. It's great to see. So.
Yeah. It's that video of
you guys holding hands dancing after like 15 drinks.
One thing about me is when I have a drink, I can become very loving. this was especially when I was like a teenager. I just loved everyone and was so like affectionate to people. And that side of me came out at Sol's Halloween party, and we were just dancing, holding hands, and I was just like, showing him so much appreciation.
Great.
It was hilarious. Yeah. So very, very good one. But I also think that was helped because it was like, and this I think could help other people as well. It's like it was a micro interaction,
a trio. It wasn't a full blown scale,
which is obviously the complete opposite to bringing 15 people together. But I feel like if you slowly
it's been
do
done
that,
in bits though.
That's the thing. Like, for example,
with Neno,
sticking to your friendship groups, for example.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I've met Sol, and then if, for example, you, I don't know, did something with Dima, for example.
Yeah.
I know you're listening. Hi, Dima.
Big
I miss
Dima.
you.
What's going on? You say I miss you?
Yeah.
Please be my friend.
I want to see Dima. Then there's those two people who obviously don't know each other. But then, for example, if you were to invite them over here, then there's like I know them, you know them, and then there's like different versions of different people knowing each other. So it's not just all strangers in a room all at one time and you're the only common denominator. You've introduced different people at different times who might know each other. So when they all come together as one group, that makes it slightly more easy as well.
100%.
For example, like you were saying, another one, Neno coming on the weekend, he's met all of us before, individually. So then the big group coming together is more helpful as well.
Yeah, I think, I don't know when this would happen, maybe like weddings or something, probably quite rare, is you'd get, large friendship groups from different lives all colliding at once. I think that's often when you can see that sort of that nervousness or that anxiety there.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think we have to be as extreme as saying like, oh, if you feel anxiety, if you have 15 friends from school, from 15 friends from work, and these people all colliding, you're a red flag. Like, I do think there are more nuances to it, but it is also important, like, is your authentic self showing, and do all your friends know your authentic self?
Yeah.
And if so, there is nothing to worry about. It's completely fine that it might be a bit awkward, but that's on them and that's not on you. If you're living your authentic self, and you're just being you, living by your values, spreading peace and love, then that's absolutely fine.
Peace and love. Yeah, for sure. Another thing I think could be quite cool is, I told you about this, I saw a friend, Mani, the other day, Man Simran, and she's got this concept where she's going to, when she moves into a new flat, she's going to do a dinner party. And
this is cool.
She's going to invite several people, but each one of them has to bring someone that doesn't know anyone else in the group. And I feel like that's helpful because then you're not one person that's bringing a load of, you're not the common denominator because everyone else is sort of bringing someone that doesn't know anyone.
Yeah,
that's a really cool. Like that's
really
for a lot
cool
of people extremely overwhelming, and that they would not even touch that idea. Like that's anxiety inducing and all of the things. But if that's something that you're maybe wanting to get to know new people or whatever, that's, I think, another cool idea is like is taking yourself out of the spotlight because there's 5 other people there who are also bringing someone that doesn't know anyone.
100%.
So it's less pressure on me as the common denominator because I'm not the common denominator in that situation.
We also know from our webinar that we did, shout out for us for our own webinar.
My guy,
put it right there. Come on. In our webinar, we were exploring these weaker ties and these micro connections, and these are people who we know they're not our strong inner circle. Far more opportunities, job connections, partners can come from these weaker ties. So there are so many benefits to having these more micro connections in life, and whether you do that through the way money's doing it or whatever, it can have so many personal benefits. And it's not all about me, but even for yourself or for someone else, like you might find a job or a partner or whatever it is. These weaker ties can bring so much, or just different perspectives and ideas to life. Yeah, which is also so good as well. Yeah, definitely. So it's a really good thing to have these sorts of weaker ties and introduce people and connect different friendship groups because of what it can allow. Yeah, and prosper. Definitely. I also think I saw this. I'm now doing what you were doing a minute ago. I saw this on a podcast, which I can't remember the name of. But I agree with it, which is why I'm mentioning it. It's sort of follow up. This guy was talking about work networking, but I think it's important for just human interactions. Is follow up. Send that message afterwards. Make that connection afterwards. Like if, for example, I immediately when we got home, I'm not saying I'm the gold standard. Like there's many times I've not done this, but when I got home after the weekend, immediately in that group chat from the cabin, sent a group message that sort of summarised and said, "Thanks everyone, had a lovely time." What? I know exactly why you sent that message.
No, that's not
It
why.
was to get
that is not
for a
why.
bit of context for you guys to hear this.
Here
The
we
reason
go.
Marcus is trying to paint himself out as this saint, as this god of friendships. There was a video that was put out that was filmed on the previous night when we
Continue.
were,
You're welcome to
I had a
share.
couple drinks, huh?
You're welcome to share. I have no shame.
Oh, well, why did you?
Because
why couldn't you finish the video yourself then, huh?
Because no one wants to watch themselves after a couple of drinks being silly.
So the being silly in question, we were all having some drinks, and then Marcus, it pans around to him whilst I'm on the sofa, and Marcus says, "Oh, he's my best friend, and I love him so much. Say you love me back. Say you're my best friend." And this video
And
is
did
in the
you?
group chat. It's a very, very sweet video. I did not know.
He never does.
Marcus,
And he never says it, so there we
this is
go.
awkward. Marcus he then told me he couldn't finish the video himself, and then was putting messages in the chat saying, "Thanks guys, amazing weekend, gifts and that." And I was like, "Is that to get the video got?" You're like, "Yep."
I just said it because it's nice to send a follow-up message.
Just follow up. A little LinkedIn.
Your
follow-up.
embarrassment is a reflection of your...
I'm not embarrassed at all.
Well,
You said you couldn't finish the video.
Yeah, because I don't want to watch myself being rejected by my best friend saying he doesn't love me back.
Oh, rejection therapy, guys.
There we go.
No, rejection therapy.
Yeah. That's what's embarrassing.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't think that's the case, but okay. The follow-up, though.
Yeah.
A little LinkedIn follow-up.
Yeah, nice little follow-up message.
Little follow-up. Hey, this is great. Let's circle back.
Or nice to see you all. Thanks for coming. Or I think also a specific thing which goes a step further is like sending something you've remembered about what they've said. Like, oh, you mentioned this recipe, or you mentioned you wanted this recipe or whatever. Here it is. Or you said you were going to this place in a couple months' time. I found, this restaurant there that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like those sorts of things of showing interest when you're meeting these new people or you're bringing these people together. Or setting up a group chat or whatever. We all love a group chat. Who knows?
What you could even do is set a follow-up meeting, get it in the calendar, prospect to them, and then sell them.
Exactly.
And then onboard them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Get an account manager involved.
Yeah.
Set a follow-up.
Sell it.
Set a follow-up and sell it.
Yeah, sell it. So there
Set
we
a
go.
follow-up message. Love that.
Yeah, but I think summarising that, practical tools and tips for blending your friendship groups. Charlie,
Indeed.
do you want to take it away?
Number 1 is do the warm introductions.
Number 2, start with small mixed groups.
Number 3 is to find cross-group connectors.
Number 4, give people roles.
And number 5 is aftercare matters.
There we go.
There we go.
Take it away.
Number 1, as I mentioned, do the warm introductions. So introduce people with some details and not just names. So if you're introducing some friends, just say, "Oh, hi, this is Marcus. This is Tom," for instance. Say, "Oh, this is Marcus. He's the one I told you about who has the run streak," for instance. Or this is Tom, the one who 6'4", whatever it is, as a very sort of awful example. But you can use these details to introduce said friends, and it gives them something to work off, and then the conversation will flow from there.
Yeah.
It often helps those friendship groups mix.
Yeah, definitely. And number 2 is like we said earlier, sort of starting smaller and not a big group where everyone's just there fending for themselves. If we start small and bring a trio together, for example, and then later on maybe when there's a bigger thing or a bigger party, all of those individual, trios or connections will then all have some sort of commonality, and it makes it a lot less sort of daunting for sure.
100%. Number 3 is to find cross-group connectors. So this is to find shared interests or some stories between the friends that might link them. So, for instance, oh, you guys both moved to London last year, or we both live over west, whatever it is. You can find those stories or those connectors between said friends. And again, it's a bit similar to the first one, but it finds that common ground that people can often bond over as well. Yeah.
Number 4 is giving people roles. So as a host, for example, and we didn't go into this, but there's theory around this and research around this in terms of like social identity and us within groups having our own identities that feed into or are pro-social towards the productivity of the wider group. So what?
No, nothing.
What are you pointing at the time for?
I wasn't pointing at the time. I was pointing at your legs being open, mate.
Giving people roles whether it's a literal one of, oh, you're on drinks duty, or more of a metaphorical, figurative one, like, this is my friend and they're hilarious, or they're this kind of person, allows people to have sort of an identity in a new group that they can hold on to, and gives them that sort of that role that they can anchor to, and people know them for. And that 100% will change, especially like being in charge of making drinks, for example. But in that first instance where things can feel a little bit sort of unknown and tense or whatever, it just helps break that ice a little bit.
100%. And lastly, number 5, as Marcus was just saying before this, aftercare matters. Send that follow-up message or the photo, whatever it is. It can just, it reinforces that new connection. It's very, very simple, and it can be often quite nice as well. So yeah, send the aftercare message.
Yeah, there we go.
100%.
Great stuff.
Mixing friendship groups.
Yeah, mixing friendship groups.
Very exciting.
At Felice, at Christmas time.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, exactly. So Navidad, which one? Anyway, Navidad is Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Feliz Navidad.
At Christmas time, or whenever, but often at this time of year.
Simply.
Yes. Okay. Well, lovely. Thanks for that.
Nice. I learned a lot from that. That was super
interesting.
Nice. I'm going to be mixing all my friends after this.
Yeah.
One big function.
We just get a big Christmas party going or something.
All at once.
Yep.
Mix all functions at once.
Everyone together, everywhere, all at once.
Mix just one big function and book it out. Don't introduce anyone.
Yeah, well, I've got my 30th coming up, so that will be happening.
That'll be fun.
Well, not for a few months, but still.
It's about 6 months away.
Yeah,
7 months.
7 months away.
8 months,
8
actually,
months
isn't
away,
it?
Yeah.
It's not soon.
No.
So over a half
I need to book it, though. Our friend Claire I said this before in the birthdays episode, she had her 30th booked in about 6 years in advance.
Jeez. Quite keen.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Indeed. Anyway, Charlie.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Yes.
What has boosted your mood this week?
Oh, my mood boost is actually, it was my friend Sol's birthday yesterday, which was very, very nice.
Happy birthday, Sol.
Yeah, happy birthday. So, well, when this is actually coming out, it would be a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And it's Jay's birthday on Thursday.
Yes.
Which is also lovely as well.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay and Sol. Happy birthday.
HBD.
Very nice. How about you, Marcus? What was your weekly mood boost?
So, someone I know from America, and she's been a mood boost before because she was doing applications. Justine was doing applications for medical school. Well, amazing news. She's had her first acceptance into medical school this week, which
Very
is insane.
nice.
So huge congratulations, Justine.
Congratulations.
That is amazing. Absolutely phenomenal.
That's
so
huge.
Well done.
Well done.
Yes, congratulations.
Very nice.
Boosted my mood for sure.
Boosted
a little bonus
my mood.
A little bonus mood boost is that video going out this week. Sam Ashton, incredible work.
My God.
Our 4 pillars 18-minute video on YouTube. Please go check it out if you haven't already.
You will not regret it.
insane.
If you want to do anything with your life that has meaning,
yeah,
watch this video.
It's actually phenomenal.
It's genuinely fantastic. It's such a good video.
Go give it a watch, Rooney.
Let us know what you think.
Yep.
Unreal.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that.
That's okay.
Lovely episode as
yeah,
usual.
Lovely.
Bit more of a reflective one, but I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I hope your December's going well, everyone.
Indeed. Yeah, Christmas is soon.
It can,
couple more sleeps.
Can be a stressful time, but also it's a fun, joyous time for some. So
100%.
We've got some Christmas content coming up in the next couple of weeks.
We do indeed.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, happy
indeed.
Monday.
Right. Should I do some ASMR now if you turn it off?
Yeah, let's do that.
Welcome back to the channel. We do some Christmas tunes, you guys. Welcome back. I got my morning coffee.